Hey, hey, second graders, Mrs. Crate's class. It's good to see you. My name is Mr. Maki. I am Luca's dad, and I am really excited to show you one of my favorite books. Well, first, I'll tell you why it's one of my favorite books. I'm an art teacher. Did you know that I used to teach art at Scenic Heights? Pretty cool. But now I teach at the Minnetonka High School. So, you might get me as an art teacher someday. So I think that'd be really fun because art is the best. At least I think so. This book is called Art Dog. Arthur Dog was a guard dog at Dogopolis Museum of Art. He liked his job. He liked guarding the paintings by Vincent van Gogh, not Vincent van Gogh, Vincent van Gogh, and Pablo Poodle, but Leonardo da Vinci, um, was Arthur's favorite painter. Or was it Henri Matisse? Arthur couldn't decide. Now, if you don't know, all those names are just plays or parodies on some other famous artists. At night, Arthur came home to his little apartment on West 17th Street, made himself dinner, and he read until it was time for bed. Arthur led a quiet life. He seldom went out, except on nights when the moon was full. On those nights, Arthur's eyes grew bright, and his fur seemed to glisten. He would take out a box he kept out in his closet. He put on his hat and mask and tiptoed down the back stairs into the streets of Dogopolis. He crept down an alley, and when he was sure no one was around, he unlocked the box and took out paints and brushes. He painted a slash of lightning, a splash of sunshine, and dozens of glowing lights in the night. He painted monsters 10 feet tall, fish with tails the size of houses, frogs ready to hop over skyscrapers. Whoa. When he was finished, he crept home, a dog alone, wondering if anyone ever noticed his paintings. No one saw him paint or sign his paintings with a splat of his tail and the name Art Dog. But no one knew who Art Dog really was until one night at the museum. Crash! A window was broken. The door was busted. The alarm went off. The footsteps clattered down the alley behind the museum. The police screeched to the scene of the crime. The director of the museum was not far behind. Yikes! The Mona Woofa's gone. Mona Woofa. All right, cried the museum director. Look at what they left instead of a Leonardo da Vinci. Is this art? Looks like Mona Lulu to me, said Chief of the Police. The paint's still wet, said the museum director. Ooh, look at that crazy painting. Find me the culprit, barked the Chief of Police. They nabbed the first dog they found in the alley. His eyes had a certain glow to them, and his fur seemed to glisten in the moonlight. He also had a paintbrush in his paw. Book 'em, said the Chief of Police. They threw him in jail. But when no one was looking, he pulled out a brush and a tube of paint, and he painted a ladder. What? He climbed up the ladder, and where there were bars, he painted a window. I wish I could do that. Back onto the streets of Dogopolis. Then he put his nose into the air. What was that? He was sniffing. Suddenly, he took out his brush and his paints. Zip, splash, smoosh! He painted himself a brushmobile with his name on the side. Art Dog. He whizzed over to the Acme Paint Factory to fill up his tank. Then off he roared into the night, over highways and bridges, through the park and past the ballet, leaving a trail of paint behind him as he went. Whoa, I love that sense of rhythm all around. He slammed on the brakes. Put in front of the deserted warehouse, he sniffed. He tiptoed. Blink, 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 blink. He looked inside. 3 nasty-looking mutts were getting ready to ship something to a distant port. He took a closer look. It was the Mona. Yikes! The mutts turned around. "Hey, what are you doing here?" said the biggest mutt. "Gosh, I must have made a wrong turn," said Art Dog. "You can say that again," said the mutts. It looked like big trouble for Art Dog. There was only one thing left to do. Paint! On guard! What a masterpiece. "Wow," said the chief of police as he arrived with the museum director. "How did you know where the Mona was?" Art Dog wiggled his nose. "I can smell art a mile away." The director of the museum said, "I don't know how to thank you, Mr. Art Dog," said Art Dog, pointing to his brushmobile. "Art Dog, I like the way you paint. How about a show at the museum?" "Sure thing," said Art Dog as he sped away in his brushmobile. Soon it was the night of Art Dog's show at Dogopolis Museum of Art. Everyone stood around and sipped root beer as they waited to meet Art Dog and see his paintings. But where was he? Where were his paintings? And for that matter, wondered the museum director, where's Arthur? He should be on the job tonight. Suddenly there was a sound. Everyone rushed outside, just in time to see Art Dog high in the sky, finishing his masterpiece, City Rhapsody. Everyone was amazed and speechless. Then suddenly, he was gone. Who was Art Dog? Who was the painter in a brushmobile, catcher of crooks, bringer of light to Dogopolis night? Oh, maybe you need a little bit better look at this. Holy smokes, that's pretty cool. This kind of reminds me of this other artist named Vincent van Gogh, who's one of my other favorites. No one knew. I hope you liked that, guys. That was kind of fun. Maybe we can read some more books. Maybe you guys can read some more books. Maybe you can make some art and make some books. Holy smokes. It's all up to you. What's the next masterpiece you'll make?